What's up guys, TheMerryGamer here, and welcome back to the JSano Fan Server. And yes, I have once again returned. I know I took a little break between the last episode and this episode. I know I said a whole bunch of things last time, how I was going to go back to a weekly schedule, but a whole bunch of stuff has been happening in my life, and I'll get talking to it in this episode, because we're going to do a whole bunch of grindy stuff today, because I have still a lot of stuff to talk to you guys about. I've just got so many stories and so many things and I want to talk to you guys about, and yeah, I've just been really busy. Unfortunately, I haven't found the time to actually record. The only thing I've been able to find time to record was actually the episode I did last time on the JFS, then the Terror Store, which we're going to talk about in a sec. And that's it, really. I haven't had any time whatsoever. It's been kind of bothering me a tiny bit, but also I've been having a lot of fun as well, so then that kind of allows me to get away with it, I guess. But I want to see, do I have any other... How many uses does this have? Not a lot. I want to grab you. I want to grab some slabs or something to allow this, because we're going to do a bit of digging. We're going to clear out my tunnel in the nether, because I want to get to designing that soon. But to do that, I need to dig it all out, which it mainly is dug out anyway. I don't have it. Where's my ender chest? That's right, it's up near the bed. But yeah, no, I've been really busy. And then I got sick. I'm kind of still a tiny bit sick. But I had a cold where it really affected like my my nose, so I was like really like nasally and blocked and congested. So whenever I talked, I sounded really weird. So I kind of decided not to record until which that's an efficiency 5. That's a silk touch efficiency. Okay, we can maybe use that one. Like worst case scenario. Okay, let's go. But yeah, so I got really sick, and it didn't affect me for too many days. It actually was kind of going away really quickly. Not like my last cold. The last cold I had, I don't know, it pretty much lasted a month, because it brought back like asthma, and I had this chesty cough, and just. I won't waffle into all that, but yeah, that was a pain in the ass, that one. But no, this one, oh wait, I don't have a lot of food, do I? I'm gonna need that because of the nether. What was I saying? But yeah, no, I've just been really busy. I'm going to try and get back into it this week. I've got this week of uni, and then I'm working a lot as well this week. When you guys see this, it'll pretty much be the end of the week anyway. But then after that, I'll have my mid-semester break, and I'll have a week pretty much where I can sit down and finally like get down to business with the YouTube stuff, and kind of get back on track with everything. Where the hell is my chicken? Oh, we got wheat. Let's just turn that into bread or something. So yeah, that's the plan. So don't worry, there will be a lot of content coming our way, and I do have a lot of things to talk about. So I'm gonna get going with that. Originally, I was gonna start talking about Vegas and all that sort of stuff. Oh yeah, I'm gonna talk about a bit of Vegas, but I want to get ahead of a few channel things as well. So I've decided. Unfortunately, I don't think so. I'm going to continue the forest. It might come back in the future. I haven't got a lot of time for the forest at all at the moment, and it's really bothering me. I haven't really had that much time at all, and that's been bothering me a lot recently, because I really want to get back to playing it. But it's also very buggy. Like the content that I was making, like I just made it by the end, because I was kind of just over the whole I pretty much made it because I wanted the content out, but it was very buggy, you know. The frame rate wasn't amazing. It seemed to work okay, but then whenever I booted up, why is there a chest there? That is really creepy. Okay, there's a chest there. Actually, I probably should start at the other end, because that will be at the right height. But yes. What was I saying? So yeah, the forest, I'm not 100% sure I'm going to continue. It's going to be put on the hiatus list. And I actually do have another game that's on the hiatus list that I put on there a long time ago, and I didn't bring it back. And you know what? I was kind of looking through my videos, I was looking through my content before, and I've decided I'm gonna bring it back, pretty much. So the game that I am referring to is Prison Architect. So expect the return of Prison Architect somewhere in the very near future. I do plan to bring that back. I don't know if I'll get a chance to record it this week for release next week. I kind of want to, so that's the plan. But if I don't, then I'll record it in the week that I have off for uni, and we'll start producing some Prison Architect content again. I know they've done a lot of updates since I stopped playing that game, and so I'm kind of looking forward to getting back to it, because it'll be a nice little change to the channel. Like, I really enjoyed that game. It was a really fun game, and I stopped it because it got very repetitive. But then the game wasn't really updating a lot, like, as quickly as I wanted it to, and I've pretty much taken, like, the last time I recorded was February 26th of this year, so that's when the last video came out, where it wasn't really a video anyway, it was just me kind of saying a mid-season break. So I don't know what I'm going to do with the Architects series. I don't know if I'm just going to continue our world, or should I sell the lot and go start at a new world, but do some planning off camera, which is probably what I will do this week. Is, at least if I'm going to sell the plot, I will do the planning, a decent amount of planning this week, so so we can actually not kind of repeat ourselves all the time. One of the best things that I noticed is that one of my videos that I did for the second season, I called it the perfect layout, and I kind of explained the perfect layout for Prison Architect, but it's actually got a lot of views. It's actually got over 1,000 views now, which is really surprising, and it doesn't really show you my perfect layout plan, because by the end of it, it's literally talking about the plan that I was working towards for the season, and that would be the perfect layout. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and design the perfect layout, so then when I start that episode, you guys do actually get to see what my perfect layout plan was. You pretty much got to see it anyway for the first plot of land, but you didn't get to see it for the rest of it. So that's what we're going to work towards, and that's what we're going to do. I'm kind of actually a bit excited bringing back that game, because I did enjoy it a lot, and I really missed playing it, so I'm looking forward to playing it again. Now, as we talked about before, the forest is going to go on a hiatus, because I'm not really sure how to fix that. The game is very, very buggy. It's not really doing exactly what I wanted it to do. I'm going to have to do some test runs again. I don't know, it might have been just the current version. Definitely there's been a few updates since then, so I might be able to play it, and there might be absolutely no issues whatsoever. If that's the case, then that game will continue straight away, but as until I know, that game is currently on the hiatus list. Now, there's probably another game some people are wondering what is going on, and some people are probably very surprised that I haven't been putting out content for that for quite some while, and that is Space Engineers. What has happened? Oh, crap. Really? Okay. That's gonna, like, melt all my ice, isn't it? Yep, there goes my ice. Okay. Fantastic. You bastard. I melted that really quickly as well. Alright. Oh well, it's not too much of a big deal. But still really, really annoying. Let's just block this up there, so it kind of looks weird. But yes, you're probably wondering what's happening to the Motley Crew, what's happening to Space Engineers. Personally, I don't know, actually. I haven't, as I said, I've been really busy, and I'll dive into the other reasons why I've been really busy soon as well. But it's, I haven't been seeing if these guys have been still making the group content. I need to kind of research into all their channels again, kind of catch up in the group chat and find out what's going on. I wouldn't mind trying to organise back our weekly, our bi-weekly schedule again, as well as going back and doing some more Space Engineer stuff, because we started the second season. I didn't dive into it too far, and then went on my holiday, and since I've come back, there has been no content for Space Engineers, which is a bit of a shame. So I'm not guaranteeing that to be returning straight away, but I am guaranteeing that it will return. I just do not know when. Hopefully in the next month or two, because I'll need to obviously plan, find out everyone's schedules again, and see what we can do about everything, so we can get everyone back and together for the Motley Crew recordings, because they were bloody fun. They were absolutely amazing. They were a great bunch of people as well to record with, and I do miss doing those group recordings as well. Might as well chuck it in here now. JFS, I'm going to try and really pick up again and keep it every week now. I've kind of figured out my scheduling and what days I need to record. Today's actually a day that I won't normally record. It would normally be tomorrow for me that I'll be recording. but I'm recording this a bit early because uni finished early today, so that's the plan pretty much. Is I just need to kind of process my availabilities, and the reason why my availability has also been a bit harder, because you're probably wondering, okay, what else is going on besides, like, it's not hard. I was able to work, manage my time around work and uni in the past. Why is it so different this time? And that is because for quite a while now, I've actually been seeing someone. It's been quite. What is it? How long? It's over 4 months now. So she's a really lovely person. We've been spending a lot of time together, and it's got to the point where we're officially boyfriend, girlfriend, all that sort of stuff, yada yada yada. And I spent a lot of my time with her as well, so I don't have all that free time that I had in the past to record. So most of my time I'm spent, if it's not at work and I'm not studying at uni, it's pretty much with her. So but I have kind of figured out. There's certain days and certain times that we don't ever normally see each other, and most of those days is I'm just like lazing around, doing nothing, watching TV or something like that. And I've been personally quite lazy just with the YouTube stuff, so I am actually going to get back into it a bit. I've had a bit of quite a big break from it, and a big I guess the best word to say, blunder off YouTube, and I'm going to change that by trying to get my schedule back on track. So that is another reason why YouTube has been lacking as well, because pretty much I see her almost every day. So that is that. Now this should stop all the ghast from spawning in here, which is exactly why I'm placing this now, because whilst we get rid of this, the ghast will start spawning in here if I take it all out. So that's why I have to do the rows. I still remember my nether process, because I don't know, I think maybe the ice stops them from spawning. I think they can't spawn on ice, but I'm just placing this just in case, just to be safe, because the last thing I want is a ghast in here and destroying things. But with that being said, so what have we talked about? We've talked about the forest not returning for a little while. We've talked about the prison architect returning. We've talked about JFS starting to become every week again. We've talked about space engineers eventually returning after I've talked to the Motley crew. And then, what else is there that I need to talk about that's channel related? Ah, yes, I brought it up before. Terra Restore. Now, if some of you have been following the channel for a while, you would notice that I've been doing Terra Restore with JSano 19 for quite some time. I think that started roughly around the same times that I stopped Prison Architect, because I'm pretty sure that took its slot in my scheduling. I think that's the main reason why I did end that series as well, is because it just worked easier to stop the two. Stop this one while starting the other one. But not this week, technically it was last week when you guys see this. Terra Restore finally ended after 66 episodes, after pretty much 8 months, 7-8 months of recording and content. Me and Jeff have finally finished Terra Restore, and I'd like to say just thanks again to Jeff. Like I said, I know I said it in the video, in our final video and that, but like, just thanks again for asking me to join him on the map. It was absolute phenomenal map, absolute, just like it changed my view on kind of like adventure maps and like CTM maps for Minecraft. I actually really want to do another one. I enjoyed it that much. I kind of can't wait until I do my next one. But it's just been. It was amazing. It really was amazing to do, have the opportunity to record with Jeff. Being watching him for such a long time, then eventually getting part of his fan server, then eventually actually getting the opportunity to record with him. It's great, and I've got to know him quite well over the time that we've recorded, and he's just such a genuine, perfect, like, just amazing person. And I am just humbled the fact that we were able to record a series together and able to work around our schedules and halfway across the world for that amount of time. I know that we had certain moments where we had some pretty big gaps. It wasn't too bad. It was pretty good to the start. Up to like the first 40 episodes, we were pretty good actually. It was just after that where we got the kind of when our holidays started colliding, or like I know Jeff had a lot of business and like work related stuff that happened. Like he had like the relocation and all that sort of stuff. If you don't watch his channel, then you probably have no clue what I'm talking about. Then he had the then he went on vacations, and then he went to it started getting to the season where you have all the the conventions and stuff like that. Then Minecon came around, then my holiday came around, and then, you know, and then during that time I started dating my girlfriend at that time. So then a lot of our free time and my workload picked up. I went back to uni, and we had moments where we weren't recording for quite a while, but we were really determined to finish it, and I'm absolutely stoked that we finished it. It was such an amazing map. I do have to say, again, like a shout out to Myfy, or Miffy. I'm pretty sure it was Myfy, but I like to call it Miffy sometimes. Just friggin' well done. Like, that was such an amazing map. It was, you know, I've never, like, there's been some maps that have, like, a lot of detail, you know, a lot of work, you know, but, like, you put so much effort into that, and it was incredible. It was incredible. Like, I look back at it and look at, like, all the moments that we had in the game, and the amount of times that we play, like, how we, like, the amount of, what am I trying to say? The amount of time that we put into playing the map, and I've never had an experience like that playing a CTM map. Like, Minecraft is pretty entertaining for myself generally. Like, I can play this game for hours on end, because I'm purely addicted to the pure creation side of it, and, you know, it's just like, it's infinite creation pretty much, and that's why I'm addicted to Minecraft. But, you know, when I'm able to see people's creations and their ideas, and when they put their imagination into it, and, you know, they come up with these storylines and these CTM maps, it is just phenomenal to see what people come up with, and my hat's off to you, Myfy, because it was just a fantastic map, and I enjoyed the hell out of it, and I can't wait for your Terra Restore 2, I really can't. And, yeah, and hopefully now I will start planning to do another CTM map sometime in the near future. I do not know when, but, I really do want to start planning a, CTM map. Did I pick up that chest at all? Oh, did I leave him still up there? Because if I left him up there, I'm just going to start using that as a storage. But, yeah, like, simply just fantastic. And, I enjoyed it a lot, and just pretty much in the end, thank you for making such an awesome map, Myfy. And thanks again to Jeff for, you know, playing it with me. It was absolutely brilliant. And I know I've waffled on a bit about that, so let's move on to the next stuff that I need to talk about, and that is, I might as well finally talk a tiny bit about my vacation, so I might as well bring up Vegas. So, as some of you know, I went away. I've mentioned it a few times how I went away to the States, and how I was planning to go away to the States, and I ended up going away for pretty much 2-3 weeks, 2.5 weeks, so, to Vegas and Florida. So Vegas we were, oh god, I got the hiccups now, hold on, have a drink of water. Alright, hopefully that'll stop it. So, I went to Vegas for about 5 days, 5 nights or something like that. And that was pretty good. It was actually really awesome. I enjoyed Vegas quite a lot. I probably enjoyed Florida more than Vegas, but Vegas itself was still pretty fun. And so I'm just going to talk through pretty much my Vegas part of the holiday for the rest of the episode, because until we finish digging out this stuff. So Vegas was just awesome. Like, what surprised me actually about Vegas the most was actually its weather. So when we got there, so I'm going to be talking in, just to warn those, no, frigga, shit. Okay, I think that blocked it maybe. But yeah, so just a heads of warning to those that use Fahrenheit. I'm going to be talking in Celsius here. So when I say a temperature, I am talking in Celsius, not Fahrenheit, and not Kelvin either. So when I went to Vegas, it was a whopping 44 degrees Celsius. So that's like 100 and something. I can't remember how much it is in Fahrenheit. I really can't. I can't remember the conversion. But it was bloody hot, and it was like dead of their summer. So, you know, it was about, on average, in between 43 and 45 degrees. So most days was 44 degrees, but it was so friggin' awesome. Like it's winter here. It's well, it's actually about to turn spring here now in Australia, but it was so bloody cold when we left Australia. It was such a nice relief to finally get back to some warm weather, and it was kind of like the thing that we needed, was like that pick-me-up. And Vegas was hot. Like 44 degrees is friggin' hot. Like Melbourne down here in Australia can get up to that weather, but it's actually worse. And the reason why it's worse is that since if you know where Vegas is located, it's Nevada, so it's pretty much a desert. It's in the middle of a desert, and there was no humidity, not one. Like you look at the weather forecast, it would say 0 for humidity, which is pretty impressive. You know, so the days were hot, but they weren't like that sticky heat that we get here in Melbourne, which was absolutely beautiful. So, like, you could, like, in Australia, like, when we have a 44-degree day, you pretty much dread it because you know you can't go walking around for too long because it's literally just you're gonna sweat so much, and then you can't, like, the sweat doesn't properly evaporate because of the humidity, and then you just get sticky, and then it's nasty. It's not fun. It's a bit of a pain in the ass. Unfortunately, it gets like that. But, you know, you kind of deal with it. Florida was similar to that, but we'll get to that. But no, Vegas was 0% in humidity, which was something I hadn't really experienced before. I never really experienced, like, I've experienced 0, like, humidity, but I've never experienced it when it's in that sort of heat. So it's a very dry heat. And I actually really liked it. Like, me and my brother, like, we ended up walking around, you know, the Vegas Strip, you know, going to all the casinos, you know, checking out all the places. Like, we pretty much walked up and down that strip so many goddamn times, whilst we were there. And as well as the fact that even though it was like 44-degree heat, you normally wouldn't walk. We would end up spending like 4 to 6 hours a day, pretty much just walking the strip of Vegas, checking out all the joints, and it was fantastic. And like, it was such an awesome heat, and I could seriously, like, I really wish I could live in a country where we had that sort of dry heat. Like, it was hot, like, don't get me wrong, it was friggin' hot. Like, by the end of it, you're exhausted. Like, I remember, like, every night, you know, I'd go, by the time it was time to go to bed, I'd hit the bed, and within like 5 seconds, I'm out. Like, it's that sort of exhaustion. Like, you're just on the go all the time, and the moment you go to bed, bang, sleep. But like, no, I really enjoyed Vegas. Vegas was awesome. And let alone that, like, just the fact that I got to go there, got to see all the sights, you know, see all the casinos. Like, I was lucky enough that we stayed at Caesar's Palace. So if you're familiar with that one, that's it's probably one of the biggest resorts that are there, actually. But it's the one they actually shot The Hangover in as well, and that was quite cool to be in as well. They had a lot of Hangover souvenirs as well, which why wouldn't they? Like, you would want to flaunt that. But it was a fantastic casino, fantastic hotel, whatever you want to call it. All the other hotels there, like the Bellagio was great, the Flamingo was good, Excalibur's was pretty good as well. There's a whole bunch more that we went to as well, and they were pretty awesome, actually. And I was happy enough that I was able to walk away with Vegas with a profit. I didn't expect that at all, actually. So I was really, really chuffed. Like, my brother ended up being in the negatives. I think he ended up what was he by the end of it? I think he was about $200 in the negative or something, and by the end of it, like, we only played small because I brought money with me for the vacation, but I only pulled a small side of it across for Vegas because most of the majority of my spending would be in Florida, and so I think I only pulled aside $500 US for Vegas. So it's not a huge amount, but just enough to, you know, play small bets and, you know, kind of build it from there. And I did. I pretty much ended up winning just shy of $300 US whilst in Vegas, and I pretty much spent, I think, only about 250 on like souvenirs and like clothes or whatever whilst I was there. So I pretty much still ended up walking away with a profit because I didn't end up touching any of my spending money for Vegas, which was actually, I was really happy about, because I actually did end up needing that for whilst I was in Florida. So I'm glad it kind of worked out that way in the end. I need to go get some more slabs, don't I? Alright, let's go down here. Does this, like, interrupt the run at all? Kind of does, but you can kind of, like, jump and work around it. Okay. But, yeah, so Vegas was just absolutely beautiful. Like, the shows were fantastic. I ended up going to see, what are the shows that I went and saw? How many did we do? So, I ended up seeing, Jeff Dunham. If you haven't heard of Jeff Dunham, go check him out. He's a ventriloquist, which is, you know, someone that does voices for dummies and dolls, and I'd watched his stuff before on like YouTube and stuff like that, and I finally got to see him live, and he's actually a pretty good entertainer. Like the stuff that he did, the jokes were pretty good as well, and I'm happy that I ended up going to see him. As well as that, I went and saw the Jersey Boys, good old time classic. Some people probably don't know what the Jersey Boys are. If you're a young kid, you might not know. Like I'm pretty young myself, to be honest. I'm only 22, but I've been lucky enough to grow up with a very old-fashioned dad who has some very old tastes in music. So if you don't recognize the name Jersey Boys, you might recognize the name The Four Seasons. But if not, then just look it up. There's some pretty good old classic music there. Am I picking that stuff off? Good. Alright, let's go get some more slabs so we can finish this off. But so yeah, I did that, and then I think I saw one more show. I can't remember now. I think I did. I'm pretty sure I did, I just can't remember. But yeah, the shows were fantastic. They were really entertaining. As well as the fact that just Vegas in general was just a fantastic place. The people weren't too bad, actually. They were actually pretty well, but it's actually, what surprised me, it was actually a really clean city as well, because Vegas allows you to drink on the street, so allows public drinking, so allows you to walk around the streets with alcohol and pretty much just drink in like public in a way. And the streets actually were really clean. It was really well done. And there was like there's no violence or anything, even though there's excessive amount of drinking in Vegas. So that's what surprised me the most. I'd expect the violence, but there wasn't too much. I do admit though, me and my brother did venture down into the sketchy side of Vegas. I'm looking at the time now, and I think I might have to talk about that in the next episode, because this episode is going to linger on a bit too long, but I will dig out the rest of this tunnel. Try and dig out the rest of this tunnel anyway. There's not too much time left. I don't know if I'll be able to talk about it, but yeah, me and my brother, to keep it short, me and my brother ended up walking, like, the strip of the new Vegas strip. Like, we're not talking about the old Vegas strip. We didn't actually venture down to the old strip, but the new strip looked fantastic. You could see the old strip from the Ferris wheel. They have this big Ferris wheel in Vegas, which is actually it's apparently the biggest Ferris wheel in the world or something. It's freaking huge or something. But you could see it from there, from that Ferris wheel. But it doesn't take much to, the moment you kind of walk off the strip, Vegas changes really, really quickly. It turned, like, the main strip, as I was saying, how it was like really, really clean, not like everyone's kind of nice and everything. Like, the nice thing kind of continues, but just like the cleanliness only really lingers for the main strip. Like, you go a street across from the main strip, and you're gonna have an interesting experience, I can tell you that. And we had a pretty interesting experience one night. It was actually on our final night in Vegas. We decided to you know what? We'll talk about it. I think I have enough time. I'll keep digging. So, in my final night in Vegas, me and my brother pretty much turned around and just like, my brother turned around to me and said, "What are we going to do in our final night? Are we going to go get..." Oh, shit. I'm going to get killed here. Okay, let's be careful here. In our final night, my brother turned around and literally turned around. What are we going to do? We're going to get absolutely smashed, even though we pretty much had to wake up at 5 in the morning to get on a flight to Florida. So we were kind of like adamant about getting absolutely wasted, because we were just like, well, we do have to kind of, we have to be out of the hotel by 5. So we were just like, so that was like pretty much a 4 AM wake up. So we're just like, if we're going to get smashed, we're pretty much going to be absolutely hungover on the plane. We weren't too confident wanting to be absolutely smashed whilst on the plane, because, you know, turbulence, jet lag, whatever you want to call it. that probably doesn't settle too well with a stomach full of alcohol, and it can easily make you sick whilst on the plane. I didn't want to inconvenience the other passengers. So my brother researched on what are the good things to do on your final night in Vegas, and he said, why don't we go to a strip joint? So me and my brother ended up going over to, I can't remember the place name, it was something Rhino or whatever. Ended up going to a gentleman's bar, so to say, is more the politer way of saying than a strip club. And we only were there for like, what? Maybe like an hour or so, but he researched it, its location, and it wasn't too far. Oh yeah, this is silk touch, so this actually doesn't there. He researched into it and he was like, okay, it's not too far. So I'm not going to dive into too many of the details of the strip club or anything like that, because this is technically not an R-rated channel, so I'm not going to go into any details of what consists in one of those. But if you want to research it, go ahead, and for science reasons, go research it. But we went to one of the strip joints, but my brother was like, he researched it up, he looked at it, and he was like, okay, we had to just walk down the strip to, I think it was Trump Hotel, or whatever, like the Trump Towers, or whatever, which is Donald Trump's casino and shit, and he was like, and then it's literally just a tiny bit behind that, so we can walk that. And I was like, okay. It was like, what? It said it was a 20-minute walk. So we were like, okay, that's not too bad. Now, we didn't take in mind that we'll be taking this 20-minute walk at probably about 10 o'clock at night, which, you know, that's when everyone's out. You know, the night's young. It's just starting in Vegas. You know, it's just waking up. And I kid you not, Vegas, when you're off the strip, the moment we walked to this place, so we weren't in exactly the most safest, say, location when in the confinement of a car. No, we had to walk this, like, the back streets of Vegas, of where drunks are, and some very, very interesting characters that you could come across. And it was it kind of was a bit scary. Just to say, like, not like scared of my life, but I was kind of just like, you know, like, it wasn't like that scared of a life moment, like, you know, like something's gonna happen, but like you kind of just felt like you just needed to kind of watch your back whilst walking in the areas. Like when you got off the strip, it just wasn't the same. It looked very sketchy. It was yeah, it was bad. Let's put it that way. And then we had the bloody a taxi driver that kept on hassling us because he saw us walking and he wanted to pick us up, and he was like, hey, I'll take you around the corner, I'll drop you off for free, all this sort of stuff. Like, he wanted us to get in his taxi. And the way it is was because the way taxi drivers work in Vegas is that if a taxi driver takes them like tourists or whatever to a gentleman's club, they get like commission, or they get like a particular tip from the bouncer, and they get like petrol tokens and stuff like that. So he was just trying to do that so he can get that from us. But we were like, we're just around the corner, what's the point? And he ended up following us all the way there until we pretty much got to the entrance, until he buggered off. And yeah, it was that kind of like was really frustrating because the prick just wouldn't leave us alone pretty much. But it was that was probably the interesting experience of Vegas, so to say, was just the whole experiencing what Vegas is like when not in the lights, so to say. These pigmen, if I hit them, I'm gonna be so pissed. So I just need to be really careful because there's like so many of you guys right here. Alright, there we go, alright, there we go. But yeah, so that was pretty much my experience in Vegas. I was actually going to save that one for the next episode. I know we're kind of going a bit longer than usual, but also, I haven't done an episode in a while, so that's kind of what's run through my mind. So that's why I am talking about this now, and I think I've done this. Please tell me it's only 2. Okay, I think I've still done this at the right height, which is good. But, yeah, that was my Las Vegas experience, and it was an interesting one, to say the least. So, word of advice, if you're ever wanting to experience something like that at Vegas, and you're thinking of doing like a Bucks night or whatever, hey there, or whatever, then the best thing to do is catch a taxi. Because we called a taxi home. The taxis actually were really, really cheap. And the guy was actually pretty good. You gotta say, pretty fast. Like, you know, he tried at first. He kind of took the slow route because he wanted to try and convince us to go to another place. You know, because they're trying to get their petrol tokens and their commission for bringing a tourist to one of those places. But after he realized that we weren't interested, he was like, "All right, I'll take it back to your hotel." So that was good of him to do that. But yeah, just if you're ever gonna do it, take a taxi, don't walk it. I think that was a very idiotic decision of us to walk in, an experience I'm definitely never gonna forget, because walking like that final like block or two to get to the place was so sketchy. Like there was so many like there were either like drunk people or just like homeless people, just like living, like just sleeping literally on the curbs of the road. There was so many. It was ridiculous, and it was just it was kind of to the point where we were just like, these guys could get desperate and do something. Like you'd like to think not, you know, because like the place has a reputation, you know, and they don't want to ruin that reputation of Vegas, you know. But you know, like there is that moment where you're kind of walking around going, you know, you kind of just need to be wary of your surroundings, because it can potentially turn very south very quickly. And I just was able to use enough of my pickaxe for this entire thing. But anyway, guys, I've waffled on too long. This episode's gone way longer than I like it to, but I felt like you guys deserved a longer episode due to the fact that I haven't produced one in quite some time. I need to get to designing one of these tunnel thingies, because we haven't designed a tunnel for this yet, and I wouldn't mind doing it. We also need to finish the good old space station as well, so we need to get doing that. But anyway, guys, I'm going to call the episode here. So as usual, I'd like to leave it off by saying thank you all for watching. I hope you all have an awesome day, and as usual, I'll see you all in the next episode. So catch you later, guys.